It seems headquarters is starting to view some of you in the penal unit as a valid military force. Or at least that's what the rumors are saying. But that's bullshit. The only reason you're here is to atone for your crimes by carrying out missions.
Well, you sit on your ass and get medals.
You, solitary, now. Okay, on to the briefing. In this mission, you're going into Erusian territory. We know the Erusian Forces communications facility to the north in the Waiapolo Mountains is linked to the swarm of drones. Your mission is critical. You will destroy the facility and then weaken those drones. As it's important, the enemy won't go down without a fight. The area is watched over by spy satellites. If discovered, expect AA missiles. Unless you have a death wish, you must use the clouds for cover around the sides and base of the mountains. Use the clouds to hide from their satellites, and you just might have a chance to shake off their missiles. If you do find a missile on your tail, head to the clouds and pray. Let the missile kill you or crash into the rocks. That much freedom I will give.
Oh, sir. Thank you so much. You are all hurt. Alright. I need to stop hitting the cliffs. I'm using the Rafale this time around because it's got a long-range cruise missile that makes taking out radar sites quite easy. Also, for parts I put a bigger emphasis on missiles. I'm not using the machine gun that much, I find. I'm still keeping the auto strafing machine gun there, but I'm not going to put as much emphasis on the machine guns now. And I find it works best if you go counterclockwise. So go left and make a circle to take out the radar sites. You can go right and make a circle to take out the radar sites, but I find that it's harder to find the valleys to hide in going counterclockwise rather than going clockwise. So hang a left.
The enemy is watching from above. Stay in or below the clouds to keep hidden. That means no missiles. Even you lot should understand that. Talk about an enclosed space. What's more enclosed than solitary? Commence operation. That's your target radar. Destroy the anti-air weapons around it, too.
Enemies are attacking! Enemy aircraft are heading this way! Just
easy.
them away. Chase them upward. Lead them into the missiles.
Destroy radar sites. You're still under satellite observation. Watch out for missiles.
Feels like I'm being watched by a pack of band dogs.
Their missiles are guided by a combination of the satellite and the radar facility. So if the radar facility is destroyed, their missiles should stop hitting their targets.
Are you sure you can trust that intel?
Who knows? Only one way to find out.
But what if the radar isn't under a cloud?
Destroy it, and then scurry for cover if you value your life.
I thought you'd say that. You're best shaking off missiles by going into the clouds.
Radar site confirmed destroyed. However, not all radars have been taken out. The satellite's still in operation.
They sure aren't making things easy for us. Damn it, they're making us do something, but just what? It's a dangerous operation, but it's better than running through a minefield blind, I guess. You're so naive, Tabloid. What we're doing is exactly like running through a minefield blind.
Silence. If you've got time to yap, you're not doing your job right.
Got in using a trick any amateur could think of. Picked up a bunch of intel.
Full man, that's your second strike. There won't be a third. Target destroyed. 2 to go.
I got my hands on a password, and after some digging around, I found a bunch of stuff.
I'm not sure you understand what you're saying, Spare 6.
I'll let you in on it when we're home, Bandog. In this war, intel is a life or death matter.
I think you might be right. You're in plain view, Spare 15. Get back to the clouds. Cancel alert. Remember that satellite is up there. nice up in there. Radar site destroyed. Show the last one the same hospitality.
Caution.
Locked on target.
Missile.
Hide in the clouds, spare 15.
Ram down with the anti-air gun.
Missile.
What happened with the missile?
Missile. Missile.
All targets destroyed. That's the last of the radar sites we needed to destroy. That probably put a stop to their satellite's missile guidance capabilities. Someone fly above the clouds.
How about you do it?
I like the sound of that.
You could do with the exercise.
Wait a minute. Hold it.
What's going on, Bandog?
This is the Air Force Base 444 Squadron. What is your affiliation?
Nobody told me there was this many nearby. Incoming Allied fighters. Respond.
The regular forces don't want anything to do with the penal base. Hey, they have radar lock. The IFF says they're allies. Whoa, time out. Don't tell me they're barrier troops. They're picking us off. Someone's on me. Is he an enemy? Evade!
Osean fighters do not attack!
Missile.
Shit!
Missile. 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 Missile.
These guys aren't allies!
Are they spoofing our IFF?
Modern IFF connects to our strategic system via satellites. It can't be decoded.
What the hell? This is close combat. I don't know who's on whose team. Hey, the enemy's working in coordination. I'm hit. I'm done.
Missile. Missile.
How do they know?
Missile.
At this rate, no one's going to get out alive. All aircraft head into the clouds. Get out of the enemy sight.
And then what? It's a crab type. There's no time.
Missile. Missile.
Information regarding IFFs is top secret. There's no way they can make a fake.
Missile. Missile.
The enemy show no mercy.
Missile. 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 Missile.
All aircraft, gather around me. I mean Trigger.
Missile.
What?
Missile.
Bandog, can you register Trigger and the blimps around him as friendlies?
Missile.
What are you thinking?
Missile.
What good is that?
Missile.
What other choice do we have?
Missile. Missile.
Sure.
Missile. Missile.
All right, all aircraft,
Missile.
form up on Trigger, nice and tight.
Missile. Missile.
Bandog, it's on you.
Full band, what's your location?
The tail end.
Understood. I've sent new ID data. Enemies will be marked as enemies.
Yeah, my radar display's been updated.
Shoot them all down.
On them! No way I'm dying out here.
This is the penal unit. I decide when you die.
Missile.
Shit!
Missile.
Spare 15, locked on. Nice kill.
Missile. Missile.
Projectile incoming.
New blips on radar.
Missile.
Tell us what's happening. Come on!
God damn it, not right now.
That doesn't sound good.
Air contact incoming at high speed. It's too fast to be an aircraft.
It's not an aircraft. What is it? What do we do? What's going on?
Five, four, three, two, one. Here it comes. Arsenal birds.
Arsenal birds?
Why are they aiming for us?
Sending over the predicted impact zone. It's coming in hot.
Damn, you're working quick today, Bandog.
Get too chatty and you'll die. Five, four, three, two, one.
Don't get caught.
How can they fire like that when they've got allies in the airspace? Don't they care about the pilots?
Half of the targets remaining.
Count! Missile! Breaking! Chase him down!
Missile.
Damn. Helios inbound.
Watch your radar. I can't find a way out.
There's nowhere to run.
Five, four, three, two, one.
It's a matter of time before we're okay. But it's no big deal. Our should get their hands on shit like this. Mirage 12, missile! I need help. I'm on it.
Missile.
Missile incoming! Evade!
Fox 2, Fox 2.
Break! Break! Shit, they're all over me!
Another projectile incoming. It's a Helios again.
Evading!
I can't! Help me! Help!
Five, four, three, two, one.
Where's the order to retreat? We're dead meat out here. Okay, Count. Chase him down.
There are a few targets remaining. Concentrate. Shoot down remaining hostiles. Projectile on radar.
Warning! Missile in the air!
Why does it have to be me?
Impact, now! Count, one to go. Go get him.
One to go. Where is it?
Count.
Rhino, this is it! Alright, I got the last one.
Oh yeah! You like that, you dirty fake?
Damn it! God damn it! Why is this... What? Full band?
What the hell? Full band's down! Friendly fire? Didn't we get all the bandits?
Full band got tagged as an enemy.
What?
You did that on purpose, Bandog.
Did what?
Don't play dumb. Full band.
It was an accident. It got out of control. Return to base.
Son of a bitch!
Don't worry, Count. I know exactly how you feel.
The enemy is watching from above. Stay in or below the clouds to keep hidden. That means no missiles.
I'm really happy with how this mission went, actually. I didn't trigger the ace.
Solitary. Commence operation.
As the missions go on, triggering the ace often requires a really fast aircraft, because you gotta cover a lot of distance. The ace doesn't always spawn in a convenient spot for you to engage, and for it to count, you still need to complete the mission. I have spawned this ace before. I need to destroy... It's one of those ones where you have to destroy non-target weapons. I think you have to destroy all the warehouses to get the ace to spawn on this one. I'm not sure though.
Their missiles should stop hitting their targets.
Are you sure you can trust that intel?
I remember dogfighting that particular ace over a small village nestled in a valley. It kind of sucked because, like, I couldn't fly too fast or hard because I was going to head a hill, but it was a pretty nifty little dogfight.
You're best shaking off missiles by going into the clouds.
The Rafale has a maximum top speed of 1,032 knots, and as you could see, I had this one going at 1,450 knots. So I think this runs a little quicker than its real-life counterpart.
You're so naive, Tabloid.
In fact, generally speaking, with the exception of the F-14, some of the MiGs, they have
Got in using
they've
a
kind of
trick
been
any
that way. They're a little quicker than normal.
Picked up a bunch of intel.
I think I might have mentioned this before, but I feel like what what Project Aces did was they made the game, and they probably started with these aircraft having
After some digging around,
specs as close to realistic as possible, and then they play tested the jets and decided to make some jets faster than others or better maneuvering than others. They wanted to make the fighters feel diverse and probably make it feel fun. If you look at the specs of a lot of these or similar generation fighter jets, 4th generation, 5th generation, whatever, their performances are all quite similar, with only subtle variations in top speed and rate of climb and bank rate and so on and so forth. I think the differences in the aircraft come from the armaments and the range. While yeah, an F-4 is always going to be able to outrun an F-14, an F-14 is going to be able to have a larger combat radius than an F-4. And each aircraft is designed for a specific purpose. You have your 14s and 18s which were designed to be carrier-based platforms, and your F-4s, I don't know if you can use an F-4 off a carrier. Depends on, you know, its acceleration profile, I suppose. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have much to say about this mission. It went well. I don't think I took any missile hits at all. I mean, I wasted a couple missiles fighting the 18s. The F-18s do seem to outfly the Rafales. The F-18's just, it's an old design of craft, but it's a solid design. The Rafales are a relatively new aircraft. I kind of wish Dassault went with the Dassault Mirage 4000 rather than the Rafale. But the 4000 is a pretty old design of craft. I think it's from the 70s, so it's from the same era as the F-14. So, not that the F-14 isn't a bad aircraft, but like attitudes about aircraft design, weapons, internal base, stealth, radar absorbing material, and like all this crap has kind of made legacy generation fighter jets a little long in the tooth. I'm sure they still fly great and they still operate great, but I think compared to modern generation of fighters, they just have a colossal disadvantage.
Modern IFF connects to our strategic system via satellites. It can't be decoded.
What the hell? This is close combat. I don't know who's on whose team.
hey, the enemy's working in coordination.
I'm hit. I'm done.
How do they know?
At this rate, no one's going to get out alive. All aircraft head into the clouds. Get out of the enemy's sight.
And then what? Craft type.
There's no time.
Information regarding IFFs is top secret. There's no way they can make a fake.
The enemy's showing no mercy.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the F-18 specs. Its max speed is 1,034 knots. So what you're looking at, I guess, is differences in range,
All aircraft,
rate of climb,
I mean trigger.
thrust to weight ratios, and roll rates, and all, like how is it going to perform. But the Rafale and the 18 looks like they have similar performance. I think the big thing nowadays is the avionics.
All aircraft, form up on trigger. Nice and tight.
Modern aircraft have different avionics. Like on the civilian side, we are relying on GPS a whole lot more than we used to.
The tail end.
In the future, GPS is probably going to be like used for navigation, traffic avoidance, search and rescue, used like a radar for air traffic control purposes. They'll be looking at a screen with data provided by GPS and not a radar. And I think that might be what's killing old generation fighters, because it's not that they're bad ships, and it's not that they're obsolete, but modern avionics and just modern tools can let the fighter they make the fighter smarter, and they can make the pilot fly smarter. More efficient engines can give you probably not an increase in speed. I feel like Mach 1, Mach 2 is probably what we're going to be capped at for speed for aerodynamic purposes, because anything faster than that, you gotta basically be a missile. So what you'll see is modern engines giving fighters better range, and modern avionics being able to provide more critical information in a easier to interpret format to the pilot. I feel like that's probably the big appeal of modern aircraft like the 35 and the F-22. I mean, it's not that the 35 isn't without its problems, but and I think it's what's caused the longevity of the F-18. The F-18 just had its like second block rollout, I think, recently-ish, or maybe third block. So they're modernizing it as best they can with new sensors, new avionics. And if your airframe is able to be upgraded with smarter technology like that, then it's going to last a whole lot longer. And I feel like, unfortunately, the F-14, well, a great aircraft, it had a radar on board and just a bunch of old tech, and it would probably be easier just to design a new aircraft that can handle smarter tech rather than try to retrofit them into the F-14. And that was the appeal about the 35 and the 22. They project those aircraft to have a 60, 70-year lifespan because they're designed in such a modular way that they can be easily upgraded with new hardware. That should have killed me. That was a collision. That should have killed me. And, you know, and efforts to modernize aircraft, like the advanced Super Hornet, it looks great, it looks pointy. They probably learned a lot from NASA's High Alpha research vehicle when they had that out there. You can put thrust vectoring on it. They could give it the treatment that the F-15 Stealth Eagle variant has. They could give more of an angle to the vertical stabilizers and paint it with a radar absorbing material to make it a bit more stealth. Whatever, is it 7th generation? Is that what the stealth fighters are? I don't even know. But they talk about these half generations, and that's kind of what that F-15 Stealth Eagle is. It's still a F-15, but it's got modern toys and avionics on it, and it's been slightly redesigned and painted with radar absorbing material to make it relevant and capable in a world of stealth aircraft. And you've got some manufacturers and nations just skipping the current generation of fighters altogether because I think everyone's waiting to see in the real world what drones are going to be used for and what the first generation of stealth fighters are going to look like, rather than try to catch up with, you know, Russia, China, the United States. You might as well wait until those aircraft have been around a little bit to figure out how they work and what makes them tick, and then, you know, jump on the next generation rather than playing catch up.
The mission was a success. There's nothing else I need to say. Dismissed. Hold on, Count. It looks like your kill numbers are going up every day. You know what happens by giving false reports. Anyway, you other pilots should learn from him. I'm getting the hell out of this dump. And when I do, their kill count will make my star shine brighter.